I'm building a real Mario Kart completely from scratch, and it'll go super fast, just like it does in the game. This project almost made me quit, and you're gonna see why. I bought this pedal go-kart off of Facebook Marketplace for only $50. It was never used by the original owner. I went to Amazon and got this amazing motor. This kit comes with a motor, a control box, an ignition with like a key, which is super cool, a pedal, a sprocket, and a chain. And I bought two 12-volt 14-amp batteries, which I will connect in series. That way it becomes a 24-volt battery. To actually make this thing look like a Mario Kart, I bought a lot of PVC piping for the frame. I even bought a trash can, and I'm gonna cut it into a specific way so it's like the front panel of the car. And of course, I got all the spray paint so I can spray paint this thing to the right color. What I need to do is cut out the front panel with keeping a little bit of the curve because it curves around. All right, so I just got finished cutting the trash can into the pieces that I need. I'm also gonna add hinges to these, so that way when it's closed like this, then I can open it up, that way to open up the hood. For the next step, I need to spray paint it, but first I need to do a layer of primer, that way the red really shows. So now that the hood of the car is completely dry, I need to finish it up. On the car, it has a raised white edge, so I'm gonna be taking some EVA foam. But before I put the foam on there, I need to go ahead and screw these hinges on. I might use contact cement and then add a screw on there just for extra oomph, you know? All right, so all the foam is on the front plate of the car. Now all that's left is to put the giant M for this narcissistic driver. I'm gonna go use my Cricut machine to go print out the M, and we'll stick it on there. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and paint the tires. I was able to get the front two tire wheel things off, and I taped them up because I need to paint the inside first, prime it, and then a layer of yellow. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the back tires off. This is a freewheel and the other one's attached to like the axle. It's hard to get off. I might be able to, but I don't really feel like it. So I'm gonna paint these first, and then I'm actually gonna put just cardboard or paper behind it so it doesn't spray paint any of the car. All right, so I taped off all the areas that are not blue because I need to spray paint the blue gray, and everything else that's like black and white, I'm fine with, that can stay. I'm gonna take this outside and spray paint those rims yellow. All right, so I just got finished painting all the wheels and the whole entire body gray. And of course, I took off the tape so you can see the black and the white bars and like the plastic stuff. So that is completely done, and I'm just gonna let it dry, and then I will spray it with like an adhesive tomorrow. I wanna put that front white bumper on, and I had this brilliant idea. So in order to put this front bumper actually onto the car, I'm gonna screw a hole in the back of the bumper that it came with, a small little thing. Screw a hole through the back, have it go through into the PVC pipe. Let's get to screwing. Alrighty y'all, it's been a couple of days. I had to wait for some of the parts in the mail to come in. This is the piece that came in the mail. It's a sprocket, and as you can tell, it's pretty thick, but the pitch is the right size, and this is the sprocket that was already on the motor. As you can see, the space in between each of these like little divot thingies is 1/4 inch. This is 1/2 inch. It needs to be 1/2 inch for the chain that's already on there, but this is too thick and this was the right size. So I'm kind of screwed because I don't have a sprocket that would fit the chain or a chain that would fit any sprockets. So what I'm gonna try to do is take off the pedal system and the sprocket that's already on here connected to the chain. I'm gonna see if it can fit the bore size, like the hole inside, like the diameter, see if it will fit on that motor I have, because then I could just use this sprocket that's already on there as the sprocket that's supposed to be on the motor instead of these ones, which will not work. All right, it was a very destructive process, but I was able to get the pedal mechanism off, but it is like welded or soldered onto the gear, like the pedals itself. So I'm gonna go take like a hacksaw or something and try to get it off and then see if I can Dremel a hole that is just the right size to fit onto the motor. All right, so I was able to successfully saw off those pedal bar things. So now I'm left with this, but I of course need to drill a hole inside in order to actually put it on the motor. So I'm gonna find a way to do that. It might take a while. As y'all can see, it completely works, which is incredible. I'm so glad it was able to fit. And you have to be really careful when setting this up. You want to do positive first, then negative, and then when you take it out, you want to take off the negative first and then positive. Now, in order to apply some pressure onto the pedal, I need to have a floorboard, and this thing doesn't have a floorboard because, you know, it's a pedal cart. So I have some scrap wood just laying around, and I kind of drew out the outline of the edge of the car. So I'm just going to cut this piece of wood into the right shape and then take some like L brackets or something and screw it onto the car. All right, so I got the outline of the floorboard completely cut out on a piece of wood. I also cut out a hole right here. That's where the pedal's gonna go, and it needs some space below in order for like the pedal to go all the way down. So I had to cut a little bit out. All right, so I just finished sanding and I actually painted the floorboard that gray, the same color as the base of the cart. The next step is to attach the floorboard onto the bottom of the cart. Let's go ahead and get this thing on there. Alrighty y'all, so I got the motor connected to the battery as you guys saw, and I just want to test it out to make sure it works. First, you want to put the key into the ignition and turn it, and then it'll light up perfect. Next is you want to press on the pedal like you do for any car, and it should move. Look at that. I don't want to do too much, but it does work. So we know it works. I can finally assemble this car. For the next step, I have to attach the hood of the car onto the dashboard. And to do that, I'm going to drill some holes into here and then connect it with these hinges I already put on there from an earlier step. A problem I was facing was keeping the dashboard like secure and steady on the car because it wasn't attached to anything. It was just attached to the hood, which the hood isn't even attached to anything. And I just have the steering wheel rod poking through the dashboard. What I did was I took 2 wooden dowels and drilled a hole right on the top of them. I then drilled a hole in the dashboard so I can screw them in place. That way it's all steady. Then I had some of this like bendable wire with holes in it. I don't know what it's called, but it was perfect because it was able to keep the wooden dowels secure on the car. So now this thing is pretty secure, except when I do lift it up, it is a little bit wobbly, but it's still pretty good. The reason why I wanted it to have a hood was so I can access the batteries if I ever need it to charge. Plus, it makes it look pretty cool like it's an actual car. Okay, so for the seat situation, it's a little too low and my legs are just kind of like spread out and it's hard to get my feet in there. So what I'm gonna do is build up on that seat part just to make it a little higher and push it further back. That way I have some actual leg room. If you're wondering why I have one glove on, it's because this chair is nasty, but I found it at Goodwill for like $2. I'm gonna saw off the legs because I wanna keep that little bracket brace thing there. And then I'm gonna screw it onto the back of the cart. And I of course have to sand it and spray paint it. As you can see, I can actually fit in the cart now. I did some adjustments to the seat and it can even lift up if I want to like store stuff under here. But now that gives me extra room for my legs because the leg room was awful. Everything's pretty much connected. I just have to have a little bit better wire management, so I'm gonna fix up that. But I do want to connect the battery to the motor just to see if it does work. Well, it didn't work. There's a piece of plastic that's getting in the way from the motor from actually moving. So I have to find a way to remove that, but the motor's in the way and the only way to reach it is if I take apart this whole thing. All right, so I fixed the sprocket problem where like it wouldn't rotate, but now it does and the chain moves with it, obviously, but it's not going anywhere. It's not moving the back. So that's another problem that I have to fix. I figured out what the problem was. When I was putting the motor back on, the chain came off of the sprocket in the back. Now I'm actually relieved. That's why I thought there was like some major thing that I was missing, but that's an easy fix. It just sucks because I have to fix it. Well, I ended up blowing a fuse and I was so confused why it wouldn't run. I didn't show it, but it wasn't running and I was so mad. I ended up blowing the fuse. So I had to go to the store, get a bunch of fuses and put one back in there. Now it runs, but the cart still won't push me because it doesn't have enough torque. But look what just came in the mail today. It is the sprocket that is the right sized. It has the right size pitch and bore diameter, whatever it's called. This should give it more torque because the smaller the sprocket on the motor and the bigger the sprocket on the back axles is more torque. So it'll have more force and actually pull me. Let's do this thing. Well, shit. It has been almost exactly 1 year since I touched this project. I ran into so many problems. As you can tell by what I look like now in the background, a lot has changed. The original motor I used was not strong enough to pull me. I tried using a different sprocket size, different chains, nothing would work. It all came down to how the original pedal go-kart was made. It was obviously not made for an adult to use and to turn into a go-kart. So then I bought a second motor and I was having a lot of trouble fitting that motor inside the go-kart. And to top it all off, there was no gas pedal included. The only way to run the motor was through a throttle. So then I bought my third motor. This motor is a lot more powerful, and I actually had to buy an extra battery to power it. The motor I have now is a 36-volt motor. I still have the same chain on there that came with the pedal go-kart. I used a chain breaker to shorten the length of it. And of course, where I live, it snows like crazy, so I couldn't work on it during the winter time. But now, a year later, I finally worked on it, and it is completely done. And it was perfect timing because the Mario Kart World game just came out. But enough of my yapping, let's get this thing on the road. Let's go. Zooming. Whoa, ho, ho. Starting lap 1. Woo! This thing flies. I love it. I could really go for a banana right now. Drifting. Drifting. Donut. Donut. All right, I'm about to see how fast this thing can go. And go. Start slow. It's all right. I'm flooring it. I'm flooring it. Oh, we're picking up speed all right. Woo! Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys love this build. It took me a year, but finally it works, and it works pretty good. So, peace.